Airbnb is one of the fastest growing home sharing platforms, and so many people want to know, how can I list my own property on Airbnb and start making money? Well, in this video, I'm going to tell you exactly how to do it and tell you why you should be doing it so that you can make a whole bunch of money more than other people. Let's go. I'm Noelle Randall, real estate entrepreneur, mentor, and mom of 5. And I'm in an Airbnb now. You are literally going to hear hammering in the background, but I'm here for you. So let's talk about how you can list your own property in Airbnb. I'm going to tell you exactly how you can ethically take other people's listings and things from their listings and make your own listing and be better than theirs. What to do so that your property stands out and you don't have any issues from guests. What you should leave in your property of your own stuff that other people might actually want and need. The steps that you need to do to prepare your home for Airbnb and how to get your home ready for Airbnb. And finally, I'm going to teach you how to list like a pro, how to be better than everybody else from day one. So let's dive in. As I said, Airbnb is the #1 home sharing platform on the internet. They have millions of people visiting their site every day looking to book properties and a few entrepreneurs listing their properties and making money. And I'm going to tell you what you can do to list your own property right now. And so the #1 thing that you want to do is go to the Airbnb website and start looking at other people's listings. The second thing, when you do that, I want you to open up a Word document. Go ahead, do this for me. Open up a Word document or a Google document and start looking at other people's listings, the ones that catch your eye, that you think, ooh, I would be interested in this place or I would book this place, and go ahead and copy and paste their title, their descriptions, their listing information, and things that you like about their listing. This is easy. You don't need to reinvent any wheels. When it comes to listing your property on Airbnb, there are some great people, super hosts, that have already figured this thing out, and you can do the same ethically by copying some of the things that they have put in their listing, tweaking it to fit your property, and getting your property listed and on Airbnb ready to make you some money. The #2 thing that you want to do is you got to remove all of your personal items from the property. Remember, Airbnb wants the guest to have a great experience. And so for a guest, a great experience is very similar to a hotel. I'm not sure about you, but I've never been to a hotel room and saw somebody's toothbrush there. So think of the same thing. You don't want your Airbnb to have all of your stuff all scattered around. In fact, I want you to remove all of your personal items whenever a guest is going to be there. No toothbrushes, don't leave your combs, don't leave your curling irons and all that other stuff. You leave things that they may need, and we'll talk about that in the next bullet, but please, 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 I implore you, remove all of your personal items. So I'm gonna give you a quick example, because when I was trying to sell my house, my own personal house, I wanted to move from Texas to Florida. We have a lot of properties in Orlando, as you guys already know that follow my channel. And I was going to be taking a lot of my long-term rentals, you know, people that were staying in there for a year and 2 years, and I was going to turn those properties into short-term rentals. I was going to put them on Airbnb and start making more money, because I had a few properties that were really making money on the platform, and I decided, let's just go ahead and transition these long-term rentals to short-term rentals. But one of the things that I came across, it's so funny, I had properties that were occupied by a tenant, and it was super easy to transition those properties to get them ready for a short-term rental. All I had to do was move the tenant out and furnish the properties. Well, it wasn't so easy when it was my property that me and my 5 kids and my husband and everybody else that we lived in. So I first tried to sell the house because I was like, whoa, I just need to move. But after I failed to be able to sell it because we really weren't able to show it, because like I said, I have 5 kids and they were always running around and messing the house up when it was time to show it to a prospective buyer. Fast forward a couple of months after I keep canceling all the showings, now I'm saying, all right, let me just list this house on Airbnb because I'm ready to move, and in fact, it's probably cheaper to just leave all of our furniture here. Well, I I still have to take some of the furniture out. I can't just leave all of our stuff in the property. You get that, right? You have to think like that. You need to take all of your personal items out, and you have to clear all of the dresser drawers. You have to get all of your stuff out. It really needs to be bare and clean, and just have some towels and sheets. Nothing in the closets, nothing in the dresser drawers, nothing, none of your personal stuff. Get all of your mail out of there. Get everything of yours that you do not need and that a person, a guest, would not want to see out of the property. I did that and I immediately got bookings. I literally listed my property on Airbnb, and within 4 hours of it being listed on Airbnb, again, my own personal home in the suburbs of Dallas, not near any lakes or beaches or anything like that, just a regular cookie cutter house in a subdivision. I list this baby on Airbnb, and in 4 hours it was booked. The second booking I had, they booked it for a month. The number 3 thing that you need to know when you are preparing your own house, your house or your apartment or whatever it is that you live in, and you're getting it ready for Airbnb, you gotta leave your necessities. Yeah. So not your toothbrush and things like that, but you're gonna need to leave your toaster, you're gonna need to leave your iron, you're gonna need to leave your blow dryer, things again that are in a hotel room. Things that travelers need. Yeah, probably stuff that you need too. You're probably either going to have to buy another set specifically for your home and now your Airbnb, or you're going to have to leave your own. It's just a fact of the business. People need their necessities, and you're gonna have to either buy another set or leave your necessities, one of the two. There's a checklist below with some of the necessities for an Airbnb to help you out, but you're gonna have to leave them. Okay, we've removed the personal items, we've left the necessities, now it's time to replace. We need to replace certain items. You need to do an inventory of what you have that is in great condition, things that you don't have a problem with, like towels, sheets. You may have some extra ones, but you're probably going to have to replace some of these items now, because especially the towels and the sheets, they're going to be used quite a bit by people. So you want to invest in some really good quality sheets and towels. Now again, you don't have to break the bank. You don't need to go to Nordstrom's and buy towels and sheets, but you want to get good towels and sheets because they're going to be washed very often. So look at what you have, take inventory of what you already have. Again, we don't need to buy all new things. You probably have great towels and great sheets that you feel that are acceptable and suitable for guests, but you probably are going to have to replace some of those items. So start thinking about that and start looking and taking inventory on what you have. And last but not least, you want to list like a pro. It is so important that when you take your property and you list it on Airbnb, you do it professionally. Great pictures, great title, great description, great rules. Your rules are important. Go ahead and type them in there and let them know. Do you allow pets? Do you not allow pets? What time can they check in? What time do they check out? Think about those things and list like a pro. What I told you to do in step 1 is going to allow you to do step 5. When you did your research and you were looking at other people's properties and you were taking inventory of what they said and you were putting it on that Word document or that Google document, you now have everything that you need to list like a pro. Be professional, and if you're going to copy anybody, copy the best. Look for people that are super hosts. Look for people that have high ratings. Look for people's properties where it says a rare find, because that means on Airbnb that it's usually booked. So you want to follow the best. You want to follow success and copy that. So that covers our entire video today. Please take a moment to watch all of the videos that I have for you in this series. I'm literally giving you a full course on how to make money using Airbnb, how to list your properties, how to become the entrepreneur of Airbnb that you were destined to be. I have all of the content here for you for free, so go ahead and watch all of the videos in this playlist so you can start making money today. Thanks, guys.